Hello. What can I get you today?
Pour me a velocity, dummy. I think we're in luck.
Estelle, you found a buyer. And in less than a week, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
There's just one teeny little catch, though.
Whenever there's a catch with you, it ends up costing me money.
Before you give me the guillotine, hear me out. The buyer wants the merch, but they want it tomorrow night.
And there it is. Do you have any idea what it will cost to get that many crates out of Xenofresh by tomorrow? No, not this time.
What if I told you they wanted 15 cases this time, at full price?
What about your comrades at the Crimson Fleet? Won't they want to taste? I'd hate to lose half of our profit.
You just worry about the shipment. I'll handle the fleet.
All right, then. You have a deal. Here's your drink.
You're a doll, dummy. Cheers.
You looking to get zoned? Yeah? Well, if I had a credit for every time I heard that line, I wouldn't be stuck working in this place. So, I'm guessing you're the rook that Delgado sent. Well, let me save both of us some time. Turn around, fly back to the key, and tell the big boss that I'm in no round. We'll make this deal when he starts taking me seriously. Come on, give me a break. You're not exactly a top dog over there at the key, now are you? Sending me a rook to handle a job this risky is a goddamn insult. And I'm getting tired of the fleet not taking me seriously. I spent the last 3 months setting up this job, burned 2 contacts and a hell of a lot of credits. The whole time, I'm also keeping Bayou off our backs. That idiot even catches a whiff of money and he latches onto you like a damn leech.
The few times I've dealt with Benjamin Bayou in the past have been rather unpleasant, to say the least.
Yep, just like a couple of Model A's. Program us, point us in the right direction, and watch us go. I don't have a ton of time to stand here and screw around, so I'm gonna make this as clear as possible. You want the conduction grid tech, then you're gonna have to download it from the power core of Generdyne's facility in the underbelly. Some fancy name the brain-trusted Generdyne calls the room where all the power from the conduction grid is stored. Cute, right? Hey, don't look at me. I didn't build the damn thing. All I know is that the tech inside the place is valuable. Beneath your feet, genius. It's the lowest level of Neon. Generdyne and Xenofresh are down there, along with some of the finest cuisine in the city. I'm talking about Generdyne's main power plant for Neon. All their cushy offices might be up in the trade tower, but the nuts and bolts of their operation are running beneath the city. Love the confidence. But before you pull the ripcord, I'm afraid I need to add a bit of a wrinkle. While you're inside Generdyne, I need you to plant a virus into their system. It's a simple side job that'll earn you some credits. I think you can handle it. That's because you're planning it for me as a favor. Generdyne has all sorts of tasty, valuable snacks in their databanks, and I want access. Here, take this microdrive and access the computer in Brayson Bayou's office. It'll do the rest on its own. Oh no. Are you scared, little rabbit? Well, don't worry. I've got you covered. Generdyne's got their place locked down tight. But, as usual, the weak link comes from the people that work there. I recommend you start with Ayumi Komiko, an upper-level exec at Generdyne. Get your hands on her security pass, and you'll have the run of the place. Ryujin Cloud doesn't mean shit at Generdyne. So you're gonna have to deal with Komiko and potentially her boyfriend, Benjamin Bayou. Anyway, you can find Komiko at Euphorica. Talk to the owner of the place, Micah. She'll point you in the right direction. As for dealing with Komiko herself, she's got an office in the trade tower if you're looking for something incriminating. The rest is up to you, Rook. When you're done, come meet me at the VIP booth in the Astral Lounge so we can celebrate. Pretty laid-back club over in Ebbside. Owner's name is Micah. She's young, but sharp as a razor, and has gang muscle to back her up. The little Aurora Lounge she has tucked away in the building is the real gold mine. Said she modeled it after opium dens on old Earth. Bayou takes a cut of the profits, of course, but rumor says it's way less than he usually takes. No one knows why. Businesswoman. Tough as hull plating. She's the COO at Generdyne, and I can assure you she didn't get there with her winning smile. As for her relationships, well, that's a bit more complicated. Publicly, she's having a bit of a fling with Benjamin Bayou. But rumor has it that she's just using Bayou and having a little bit of fun on the side with Micah, the owner of Euphorica. If I were you, I wouldn't bother trying to appeal to her good nature. She's a manipulative person who uses people to get what she wants. Nepotism gets him the job at Generdyne as their chief technician, yet the guy doesn't know the first thing about electrical engineering. They obviously invented the position just to give them more on a salary. One of the many poorly kept secrets in Neon. Frankly, I think he's such a screw-up. Benjamin Bayou stuck his ass in that facility under the city to keep him out of the limelight. Not much to tell, really. Thanks to their nifty little conduction grid, they're able to provide power for the entirety of Neon. Damn thing was supposed to be some kind of miracle invention, turning lightning into usable electricity. Neat trick, right? Only catch is that you need a planet like Voli, where lightning strikes often enough to make it feasible. Guess how many of those exist? Ding! If you said 0, you're absolutely correct. So Generdyne has been in dire financial straits for years. Loaning them credits? No, that's not how things work around here. The only reason they haven't folded is because they charge exorbitant fees for power. I'm talking 2 or 3 times what it costs in New Atlantis. Okay, now, on to round 2 of our little game. Guess who has a major stake in Generdyne and soaks up all that delicious profit? Ooh, not even close. The answer you were looking for isn't another corporation. It's a person. It's good old Benny Bayou. That son of a bitch has a finger in every single pie in this sorry excuse for a city. Generdyne's no different. All off the books, of course. How the hell do you think Brayson Bayou got the job down there? It wasn't because of his good looks or smarts, I can promise you that. Not much to tell. Damn thing was supposed to be some kind of only catch is that you need a ding. If you said 0, you're absolute. You're not the only one. The only reason they haven't folded is because they charge exorbitant fees for power. I'm talking 2 or 3 times what it costs in New Atlantis. Okay, now, on to round 2 of our little game. Guess who has a major stake in Generdyne and soaks up all that delicious profit? Not a single one. In fact, there are no legal alternatives for anything in this godforsaken city. The only thing people can do is deal with the bullshit and try to get on with their miserable lives. But let's get back to round 2 of our little game. Guess who has a major stake in Generdyne and soaks up all its delicious profit? It's good old Ben. That son of a bitch has a... How the hell do you think? Not much. Damn thing was supposed... Only catch is that you need... Ding! You're not the only one. The only reason they haven't folded is because they charge exorbitant fees for power. I'm talking 2 or 3 times what it costs in New Atlantis. Okay, now, on to round 2 of our little game. Guess who has a major stake in Generdyne and soaks up all that delicious profit? Aw, and you were doing so well. It's good old... That son of a... How the hell do you think? Don't let Komiko push you around. She is a mysterious.
I've heard that Benjamin Bayou has a private penthouse. We should stick to the main plaza, unless you like getting soaked by the rain.
Yeah, what? Is this important? I'm really busy right now. Let me save you some time. If you're here for a job, we're not hiring. If you're here about the conduction grid tour, we shut it down a year ago. Good. If you were, you'd be the 12th person I've turned away this year. What a waste. Look, I'm sorry if I'm blowing up at you, but I've got a ton of problems and no time to deal with them all. I'm afraid that things aren't going terribly well around here. I don't care if I'm allowed to or not. I'm happy to get this off my chest. The conduction grid went online almost 75 years ago. And since then, we haven't developed a single groundbreaking innovation. At this point, the money we're taking in as a power utility barely covers the waste that's going on in the research and development division. You'd think that, right? The problem is that Brayson Bayou, Administrator Bayou's brother, is currently heading up the R&D division. I swear to you, the man doesn't know the first thing about power systems or electromagnetic technology. Of course there are, but so far, Brayson has suppressed most of their work through pure jealousy. Look, I'm running out of options. No one above me seems to care what's going on, but I'm willing to take a chance. I have a full report on Brayson that I want to send to Administrator Bayou, but I don't know if he can be trusted. What do you think I should do? It describes my aggravation with how badly Brayson Bayou is running the Research and Development Division. I'm also including a list of all the failed experiments he's greenlit, and how much they've cost Generdyne as proof of his incompetence. I'm praying someone as financially successful as Administrator Bayou might be able to put aside his ego and look at this from a business perspective. You know what? You're absolutely right. I can't allow Brayson to run this company into the ground. Hey, look, thanks for helping me out with this. It's been on my mind for a long time. If there's anything else you need, any questions at all, feel free to ask. As long as it doesn't get me into serious trouble, ask away. I've only been working here for a few years now, and she's been my boss the entire time. Well, the big boss is our CEO, Mr. Harada. But I've actually never met him. He lives somewhere in New Atlantis, I think. She's my boss. She's fine, I guess. Look, like I said, I don't want to get into serious trouble. She might be a bit tough on all of us, but being responsible for Neon's power grid is a very stressful position. Sometimes that stress trickles down. Whoa. Okay, that's crossing the line. I can't discuss company matters like this. I'd like to tell you. I really would. What? No, that's not true. I'm not trying to make your life difficult, you know. Okay, listen. You didn't hear this from me, but I know she's up to something with Benjamin Bayou. He was in her office a few weeks ago, and they had some kind of shouting match. It got really heated until Bayou stormed out the door. I don't know what it was about, but I happen to know Miss Komiko keeps audio recordings of all her meetings in her safe. And before you ask, yes, I'll unlock it for you. Just don't tell anyone I helped, okay? Because I'm sick and tired of the corruption that's running through this city. People around here spend half their lives terrified about being backstabbed, and spend the rest of it planning on how they're going to screw over someone else. Something rotten is going on in this company, and one day, I hope to find out what it is. Sure, no problem. Hope to see you again soon.
Haven't met our CEO, Mr. Harada? Me either. He's never around.
What? I'm working here. Are you supposed to be here?
Sorry, I'm busy at the moment.
The way things are looking at Generdyne, might be time to polish up my resume.
Something you might be interested in. Distractions in Neon, so I expect you to be on your best behavior here.
Looks like you need to relax.
Welcome. Please, make yourself comfortable. I can offer you a drink, or... No, not this again. You people should leave her alone. What do you want with her? No way. You're going to have to try better than that. You debt collectors are low-life assholes. She's broke, okay? Now get out of my club before I get really pissed off and have you thrown into the street.
No, really. I'd like to see you try.
The Crimson Fleet? Oh my, I'm sorry. I had no idea. I didn't mean anything by it, really. Sorry, well, I worry about her. Ayumi owes a lot of money around town. I'm trying to help her out, but, you know, I have a business to keep afloat. If you want to talk to her, you can find her in the members' lounge. Of course, access to the lounge is going to cost you, and I'm not changing my mind about that. Excellent. Then here is your access key. Please let us know if anything in the lounge interferes with your comfort. Now sit back, relax,
Those
and
chimeras
unwind.
really back a bunch.
Care for some Aurora?
Can't you see I'm busy, Estelle? What do you want? I've decided to accept your offer. Let's make sure this is absolutely clear. I don't want any screw-ups. I'll provide the shipment IDs, the equipment description, and schematics, and in return, I disable the freighter, transfer the goods, and then transport it the rest of the way for final
Anything
sale.
I can get to help you relax?
You got it. Too bad your friends back at the key don't know you're cutting them out of the deal. I wonder what they'd say if they found out. Probably the same thing your boss in the big shiny tower would say if he knew you were funneling electrical components.
If you require
Right.
any Aurora to
Well, we
enhance
don't
your
have to worry about
experience,
that because
you let me
neither
know.
of them will ever find out. Right? That's right, Toots. Let's just enjoy the credits and keep our big mouths shut, huh? After all, it's just good business.
Yeah. What do you want? You must be zoned out of your mind, because there's no way anyone sober would say something like that. How the hell did you find that? It was Estelle Vincent, wasn't it? That bitch. I knew I should have kept that somewhere else. Here, take this pass. It should get you through the storage room entry to the facility. I'm warning you though, once you're inside, you're trespassing in a high security zone. That means they shoot on sight. Good luck. You're going to need it. I suppose if I don't explain, a copy of that recording you found might end up on the next SSNN report. Okay, fair enough. A few years back, the previous CEO of Generdyne went missing. As the COO, I was next in line for the job. Instead, Bayu muscled his way into the company and gave me an ultimatum. Either back up his bullshit Mr. Harada identity, or I'm gone. I had no choice. But I decided right then and there, I was going to do whatever I could to take what was rightfully mine. If that meant seducing Bayu to tip him off balance, then so be it. Luckily for me, Mike has been incredibly understanding about the whole thing. What do you think happened? Bayu started sticking his nose into Generdyne's business, all but outright demanding a cut of the profits. In response, the CEO made a huge mistake by threatening to take his grievances to the FC. His shuttle never arrived. Need I say more? More than you can possibly imagine. Micah is the only person in this godforsaken city that's kept me from going completely under. She doesn't want money, doesn't use me for influence or as a stepping stone to get ahead. She loves me for being me, and I love her for being the same. And when this stupid bullshit is over, and Bayu is 10 fathoms deep under Neon, we'll be there for each other. Forever. If you had to work with Brayson Bayu, you'd understand. The man is still a totally incompetent fool, and he's running our company into the ground. The worst part of it is that he's Administrator Bayu's brother, so I can't fire him. I can't reassign him. I can't even yell at him. It's like having a cut on your body and you're helplessly watching yourself bleed to death. Except in our case, we're hemorrhaging money. What is this? A job interview? I'm the COO of the company, second to the top, right under our esteemed CEO, Mr. Harada, also known as Benjamin Bayu. So when you ask me what I do for Generdyne, the answer is nothing. The Bayus run the show, and I tread water. The salary helps, of course, but at the end of the day, I'm just a joke. Sitting in an office to make things look legitimate. Keeps them off the Freestar Collective's radar. They might actually step in if they discover that the same person controlling the city's regulations and bylaws benefits financially from them. If you haven't figured it out by now, Benjamin has a stranglehold on the city. You can't take a piss without him charging you after flush. Try and get in his way, And then he uses Neon security to beat you senseless. Or the Sioga Syndicate to make you disappear. If you get caught in Generdyne, that's on you. Good luck.
It's for you. Must be a lot of valuable tech disappearing from Genodyne to justify all the scrutiny of their own employees. Look at the circumference of these conduits. They must be rated to carry an immense amount of power. Data on there is worth all of the trouble.
Technician Shibata reporting. I am reporting on the progress of Chief Technician Beiyu's project. the multi-terabyte nutriment preparation node. We've discovered by that directly connecting the power conducts into the conduction grid matrix, we can avoid signal loss. This should increase our output significantly and reduce the results by the factor of at least 10. Our goal, as per the chief technician, is to have my burrito ready the moment after I shut the door on the device. And though we've come close, we are still falling short by 3 seconds. We shall continue to investigate.
Don't want anyone below hearing us rummaging through these ducts.
Currently posted to Genedine's R&D laboratory. Personal notation.
Incredible.
I'd
These
like to
enormous
go on
power
record
cells
about my
must be the
feelings
primary
about
power
Chief
storage for the
Technician Bayou.
entire city.
Though most of my fellow employees feel that he's underqualified and incompetent, I feel that they are underestimating him. I've spoken to Brayson at length, and I find him actually to be a kind and endearing person. I think that living in the shadow of his brother, Administrator Benjamin Bayou, has given him a bad name. And that's a shame. From what I can gather, he was placed in his current position against his own better judgment and asked to do the impossible. It's an unfortunate situation, but I will endeavor to get the rest of the technicians in the department to be more supportive.
that gear.
Oh, it's you. I was wondering how long it would take you to get down here. If you want the encryption cipher, you're welcome to it. I just don't want anyone getting hurt. No catch. I'm not trying to trick you. You want the cipher? It's yours. At this point, I'd do anything to get back at my brother. He deserves everything he's got coming to him. You're kidding, right? My brother is Benjamin Bayou, the one and only. He's the administrator of Neon, and the reason I'm so damn miserable. Oh, don't patronize me. I know I'm no prize winner myself, but at least I don't spend my days trying to screw everyone over. You know, I've spent my entire life living in Ben's shadow. Everything always works out for him, while I've been bouncing from one job to the next, barely keeping afloat. And all the while, he laughs at me behind my back. Thinks it's hilarious to make fun of his stupid brother. Like I wouldn't eventually find out.
Tyrants like your brother eventually fall. It's inevitable. Perhaps you should just give it some time.
One advantage to being perceived as stupid is that no one takes you seriously. When I walk into a party, I'm instantly the resident social pariah. But my eyes and ears are wide open. I can't tell you the number of times I've overheard that my brother has spread amusing anecdotes about his stupid brother. That wouldn't do any good. For every scheme he's gotten himself into, he has a bulletproof exit strategy. Man's virtually immortal.
Ugh, that's true. He's a slippery man who can worm his way out of any legal situation.
You know what? I am sick to death of being pushed around. It's my turn to take control for once. The passcode for my terminal is GEN-41A18. That should give you access to the cipher and whatever else you need. I'm getting out of here while I still can. After you're done, I suggest you do the same. Because he's a two-faced son of a bitch, that's why. It's not like I should be surprised. When we were younger, we never got along very well. I mean, he's 11 years older than I am. We had two different mothers. Might as well have been from two separate families. Well, there's a reason for that. I never knew my actual mother. She was my father's mistress, and I was told she vanished from Neon when I was only 2 years old. Ben's mother, she didn't give a crap about me. Wouldn't even let me call her Mom. I just had to call her Liliana. Can you imagine? And then there's Dad. So buried in the day-to-day operations of Neon, he didn't have time to pay attention to his bastard son. Yeah, I've tried, but I always hit a dead end. It's as though she was here one day and suddenly vanished the next, and then her existence was erased from everyone's memory. I wouldn't be at all surprised if my father had her killed to avoid public embarrassment. That's the kind of man he was. Yeah, everyone's sorry. Just as sorry as I am. Look, I appreciate what you're trying to do, and it's nice to get this off my chest, but talking about it isn't going to change a thing. That's why I gave you the encryption cipher. Anything I can do to stick it to Ben, that's the real therapy. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, I'm at about, I don't know, a -8. I don't have the background for this electrical engineering stuff. Chief technician? It's ridiculous. Ben stuck me down here expecting me to work miracles. He didn't stop for even a second to think of the repercussions. That's so typical. All I need is one breakthrough. One. And I could shove this job right in his face. Damn, that would feel good. Holy crap. You might be right. I mean, it would take some time, but I bet I could figure it out. All this time I've been trying to develop something new, and it's been staring me in the face for years. Oh man, that is so like me. Thank you for giving me that kick in the ass I needed to get going. As usual, you can thank my dear brother for that. At first, he made me deputy administrator. That went well, until I wouldn't cooperate with Owen Dexler and all of his thugs at Neon Security. Then he had me work with Valentina over at Xenofresh, helping with Aurora distribution, until she pinned a credit skimming scam on me. And now, here I am, chief technician at Generdyne, and I don't even know the first thing about electrical engineering. Thanks again for the talk. It really helped.
I think you need to get rid of some of that gear.
Ah, there you are. What kept you? I believe we have a lot to discuss. It's obvious you're here to meet someone. Fortunately for them, they rented this VIP room under a false name. I assume that same someone provided you with that clever little virus you installed into Generdyne's systems. All too well. You know, I should give credit where it's due. That virus is quite impressive. It will cost me tens of thousands of credits to remove. That's the last time I'll ever take the Crimson Fleet's capabilities for granted. Probably. But do you want to know why that's not going to happen? It's because I don't negotiate with pirates. They don't understand commitments or contracts. How to get the deal done with finesse. No. For your kind, it's only brute force and violence. Shoot first, take whatever you want, and ask questions later. That's not how I do business. It may seem that way, but for every rival I've had thrown into the ocean, I've made 2 times as many legitimate deals. Look, I'm not here to debate. I'm here to make an offer. All you have to do is tell me who's profiting from the virus you've uploaded. In return, I'll let you leave the city alive.
You make my skin crawl, Bayou.
My dear friend, you couldn't possibly offer me enough money to offset the embarrassment that this has caused. I'm afraid you'll just have to reveal your source. Really? That's the story you're going with. Very well. There's a body that Neon Security is going to be discovering very soon. One with concrete evidence that links you to the murder. I'd say you have about 1 hour to leave this place before you have a price on your head.
You'd have someone killed to pin the crime on us. Oh, you're a wretched excuse for a human being, Bayou.
So, I assume this concludes our little arrangement, and you'll be leaving our fair city. Oh, when you get back to the key, be certain to give Neva and Delgado my warmest regards.
Did I have
Glad you're back. Sorry about the whole Benjamin Bayou thing at the Astral Lounge, but I didn't have much of a choice. Can you believe the nerve of that smug son of a bitch? The man is priceless. So I've heard. Throwing yourself under the bus like that. Ouch. You are one crazy son of a bitch. That might help you sleep at night, but doesn't do me a hell of a lot of good. Since Bayou flagged the virus, I can't risk accessing the system now. All that work I did trying to crack Generdyne is gone. Now I'm in a bit of a bind. The prep work for this job put me in deep for a bunch of cash, and I have no way to pay it all back. Well, a business partner of mine named Nix was the author of the virus. Don't know if you know him or not. Then there's the folks I paid to keep an eye on Ayumi Komiko, a few of the guards at Generdyne. Like I said, it was a huge job. Honestly, I shouldn't be revealing my sources because that puts you on their radar as well. But hey, you asked. That's exactly what I had in mind. I guess you aren't such a rook after all. How much are you willing to part with? Wow, that's way more than I expected. I had no idea you'd be so generous.
I had no idea either, but we do appreciate everything you've done, Estelle.
All right, I guess we're done here. Tell Delgado if he ever needs me for anything else. I've still got his back. And hey, you won't be hearing Rook from me anymore. As far as I'm concerned, you're one of us now. Lifeblood of the fleet. If anyone tries to tell you otherwise, you send them to talk to me. I hear things are heating up back at the Key, so I might fire up my bird and head over to check things out. Rumor has it that Delgado has some solid info on the Crix's legacy story he's been hawking for the last few years. If there's even a chance that it's true, I want to be there when Shinya Voss starts splitting the loot, if you catch my meaning. Now, how did I know you were going to ask me that? Honestly, doesn't matter if I believe that Crix's legacy exists or not. What's important is that I believe in Delgado. If the man thinks that chasing shadows is going to make us rich, then who the hell am I to judge, right? I mean, I'm not going to jump off a cliff for him or anything, but hey, he needs an extra ship at his side. He's got it. Tell Neva she still owes me a drink for our poker game.
Pull up a gel, have a drink.